All right, our Monday chat with former Pirate great Aundrae Allison as he joins us today on Pirate Radio Live. Aundrae, how we doing, man?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I love those hats, man. You got to give me a few of those hats you got with the Redskins, man.
I got a Redskins, got a few Commanders. Decided I almost didn't wear one today. I'm not feeling great about our matchup tonight, but I don't know. Maybe we can keep it close with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You never
Yeah.
know.
What am I? I think I got my. Oh, I got my Clinton Portis shirt where in 2005, Clinton Portis went to interviews in character. I don't know if you remember that.
I
You,
remember that with the wig, the glasses, yeah, everything. Yeah, I remember that.
I got my Portis shirt on today. So we need a good run game tonight against Kansas City, who looks like I think we talked about this, Aundrae. Kansas City maybe get off to a slow start and then figure it out. It looks like they've kind of figured it out, and maybe that could be the theme of our chat today. Teams that are figuring it out in the NFL. The Colts have had it figured out since day one. They are super impressive right now. What other teams are the Broncos? Maybe can you put them on the list after some early
Yeah.
losses? They beat up on the Cowboys yesterday. Philadelphia has looked at times. They beat the Giants after losing to them earlier this year. So I don't know, Aundrae, who's kind of figuring it out in your opinion?
I would definitely have to stick with those teams. I like how the Eagles figured it out because they were getting hammered about their performance, and they did look out of sync. Like they didn't have a lot of chemistry, they didn't have an identity, but you can slowly see them gelling and coming together. And those are like my top few teams. Anybody who's throwing the ball and got like elite receivers, I just hyper focus on them. But yeah, definitely them and the Chiefs. You know, with Rice coming back, first thing that came to my mind was like, this guy has fresh legs. You know, like just looking at him running out there in those 6 games he missed, he just looked dominant. But yeah, for sure, that those teams that you named, those are the ones I focus on really, because I think they got a better chance of making a bigger run in the playoffs, as opposed to like the Colts, just because the Colts they could kind of just be riding this wave right now. When it
Yeah.
gets down to playoff times, I feel like coaches and teams can just box you in and just really hyper focus on your weaknesses, and I wouldn't want to bet on the Colts when it comes down to matchups like that.
I'll put the Packers there. I mean, they've looked good at home, but that was a good road win last night for them, pretty convincing over the Steelers. So Packers on that list as well. Jarrett, any other teams we did not mention?
Uh,
Are your Raiders gonna figure it out?
Raiders,
No.
hopefully, hopefully.
All right, Aundrae, let's talk ECU. Pirates on the road after a bye at Temple, and credit to this Temple team. This is one of those most improved teams. They get a new coach, and we've seen in college football you can turn it around pretty quickly. They have 5 wins. They are going for bowl eligibility when they take on the Pirates on Saturday. ECU sitting at 3-2. ECU one conference loss, and we saw Memphis beat South Florida on Saturday. Something to keep an eye on. Navy is an underdog at North Texas this week, and UTSA hosts Tulane. Tulane and Navy undefeated right now in conference play, but easily could have one loss. So you kind of look around. Pirates are in the mix in the American right now. This is a huge game coming up Saturday.
It is a huge game. I like seeing that our conference has that balance, but all those teams could definitely suffer some losses here in the remaining parts of the season. I do always kind of have a feeling about the top of our conference is who Navy, right? Is it Navy?
Navy's
Yeah, I think,
undefeated
yeah,
right now. Tulane
yeah.
undefeated.
See, the thing is with those kind of teams, just the way that they play is, I don't know. It'd be a challenge for us to match up against them later on, but I do feel like we can like still push to get to the conference championship and definitely bowl play, and that would be huge. But yeah, teams like Temple with the new coaching staff, you can just see like a like new invigoration of like the energy there with that type of team. So we got a hard one coming up, but I trust in our team. We're gelling and meshing together at the right time, and people are picking up their play, and it's looking more consistent than earlier in the season.
Yeah, it was 11 years ago when the Pirates went there on November 1st, by the way. And Pirates were ranked, lost to Temple on a cold, wet day, and
Oof.
kind of sent the season into a bit of a tailspin. But Pirates were thinking maybe college football playoff at that point. ECU was in the first ever college football playoff poll and then lost to Temple, and those dreams kind of shattered. But Temple went on a run against ECU with Matt Rule and Jeff Collins and some good coaches, but we've had their number here of late, Andre. And what do you want to see from this team on Saturday going on the road? It's going to be in front of zero crowd. There's not going to be any kind of atmosphere up there. So you got to. I've heard players in the past say you got to make your own energy for games like that.
Yeah, we just gotta start fast. And I think we did that last week with starting with 10 points and then 14 and just continuously start fast, um, get that energy going and also just rely on just the ability to stay disciplined and don't have any mishaps when it comes down to self-inflicting wounds. As long as we can do that, and you can't take games like that for granted either. I know you can go out there and it's like empty stands. It's going to be cold or whatever. It might be some little rain because we're getting like this mix of weather right now. But as long as we can just get something to keep us driven, because we're so close to being able to lock in on a bowl position. So that's the main thing, just keeping that focus there and just staying one play at a time.
Gotta hope the defense travels, Andre. They've looked good all year. Tulsa hit some plays on ECU, but need that strong defensive effort. I'm with you. Let's start fast. Let's put some points on the board. But if we do have some empty possessions, our defense has got to keep them in it, which they've done a good job of this year.
Yeah, defense has been playing really good since day one, and it's okay just to give up a game like Tulsa because you see the offense start going in that direction. A lot of big plays and things of that nature. I would much rather have our defense kind of like taking a break in a sense. So they're going to be giving up a lot because they're spending a lot of energy early on in the season by having to pretty much carry the weight.
Yeah.
So as things just continue to go in the season, we'll be able to see how everything could just come together at the right time in the right place.
A couple of coaches in good standing with their teams when Temple and ECU play. But Andre, the theme of the year, big jobs opening up, continued on Saturday. LSU losing to Texas A&M. Brian Kelly out at LSU, and just another big job opening up, joining Penn State and Florida and a bunch of others there. So how about Brian Kelly losing his job on Saturday?
I know. You know what? I felt like I kind of seen that coming though. I feel like they were way more lenient with him than they have with like previous coaches because he hasn't really put together like that dominant LSU type of identity and team. Like I mean, he does have a great resume. He's a great coach now. But I do feel like they like extended the leash for him, like gave him a little bit more wiggle room to have some like questionable losses and some slow starts to the season. So it's really not surprising. But I always think about Sloan. Isn't Sloan still down there?
He was. He lost his job over the weekend. Joe Sloan.
Oh wow! So and then I had another friend that played. I played in the league with Cortez Hankton. He was also calling plays like a receiver coach as well. So when you see openings like that, I always want like people to get opportunities like Coach Prime. I would love to see Coach Prime with some like SEC back school with all the resources and capital they have to see his recruiting prowess go into effect and see who he can lure in and get his just due at performing or competing at the highest level when it comes down to coaching. Because I really do think he could take a team like that to the next level, especially Florida.
Well, interested to see what happens with him. Colorado got waxed the other night, and I think with all the attention and dollars he's brought in with Colorado football, that they're not going to get rid of him. But I always said when Shadur left, he would leave. I was surprised he was still there this year. So I'm just interested to see, where is he 5 years from now? Does he have a bigger job? Does he have a job at all? Hell, he's great on TV. He could do that and relax and make money if he wanted to. So where is Deion Sanders 5 years from now?
I think he would definitely be at one of those Power Five conference schools because I mean, look at the history of how he was in sports. He always, was open to like making moves and going here and going there. I think this is just like a stop for him. And like you said, once Shador left, I did think that he was going to leave, but I feel like this year right here is just to kind of just show more like appreciation for the opportunity that he got in the first place. But within the next year or two, I'm more than positive sure that he's gonna go. Like, it's no way he could stay there because he can't recruit out there, and he's too competitive as a person, you know. So, and I know he wants the best. So I want to see, him go to one of those big teams, like LSU or Florida. That'd be huge.
Andre, what is your pecking order right now? And a lot of factors come in play here: location, recruiting budget, fan interest, what conference you're in. But if I give you Florida and LSU and Penn State, who else is open? Virginia Tech. Which one of those is at the top for you right now, as far as a coaching destination goes?
LSU, Florida, Penn
Penn
State,
State,
and yeah, then Tech. Yeah, for
in that
sure.
order.
Yeah, in that
Okay.
order. I think because the main advantage, I think LSU already has a lot of the pieces, and within the past few years, they've kept a consistent amount of like top tier players. They were playing at high levels. Florida, they're in like a real downturn, like right now as a program. And then the Penn State job, I just don't see how they can really continue to lure in like top tier talent to be able to stay consistently competing with like the Ohio States and things like that. They do got a great program and it's huge. They got a good budget, huge budget. But just to get those type of players up there, it will really be, challenging. So yeah, LSU, Florida, Penn State, and then Tech.
Andre, doing big things with your businesses and everything. But if you were to, hey man, I want to give this football thing another go and get into coaching in 2025 and the next few years, would you rather get into college football coaching or professional football coaching?
Ooh, college for sure. I wouldn't
Okay.
want to coach in the pro because the pros is I think like in college, you still have a little bit more time um to pretty much put a lot of like details and knowledge in those players. They're still kind of like in the absorbing phase. And then you get to the pros, like right now, especially with NIL, players are coming in with money. So it's gonna make it a little bit even challenging to communicate with them properly and for them not to look down upon you. I mean, I was in the league 4 years, so they're already gonna be looking at me like I didn't make a gazillion dollars, you know. So yeah, I would definitely do college. And I like that relatability more like on the college level. They're really in tune with like the culture and things of that nature. They're like business driven. So my mix of playing and now being a business owner, I could help them kind of understand the importance of like focusing on the business side of the NIL opportunity that they have. And then that will help them go into the league with more leverage as well.
Yeah, good answer. Aundrae Allison joining us. Andre, hope it's not the last time I can say this, but we talked today. The Charlotte Hornets have a winning record, 2-1 to start the year. You ever go to the games there in Charlotte at all? You follow the Hornets?
I follow them. I don't go to the games. I always look on the schedule and see what big teams are coming. But the last few years, I haven't been going. Not at all. I have friends who go all the time, and if they do put up a consistent good record like that, I'll be attending some games because the tickets are fairly inexpensive. So
Yeah.
I might definitely go down there this year.
Yeah, good second half last night beating the Wizards. I think they're on the road at the Heat next, if I'm not mistaken. But that I'm not going full all in right now because they've been so bad. But I will say they've got some young talent that could make it a fun season. So something
They
to
do.
follow there. There was a little bit of a buzz in Buzz City with the Hornets start to the season. The Panthers had a winning record. That went out of the way yesterday with the Buffalo Bills coming to town. But I don't know. Hopefully, something to be excited about there in the Queen City.
Yeah, we need. I just say that we're so close to having that energy and that connection to our pro teams back, like how when Cam was here and how when D'Angelo Williams then was here and Steve Smith, we're close. Like you can feel it, you can see it, and you can feel it. And right now we're just riding the wave of the soccer team here. Everybody, we're just huge soccer people now. So I know for a fact though the Hornets they're on the cusp. Like
Yeah.
they've been drafting really well, which is surprising. They always tend to like fall for the North Carolina Tar Heel guy or
Yep.
one of the Duke players who they're tall but they're not really fitting the way that the game is played now. So with LaMelo and some of those other players, we're right on track to be like a good good pro sports team city.
And again, I'm on the east side of the state, but like I went to a Hornets game when they had Kimba and Al Jefferson and those guys, and pregame they had some kind of little montage about our city, and it had like Kimba on the corner of a street there, and the players, and it got in my feelings a little bit. Like, yeah, this is our team, this is our state's team, this is Charlotte's team, and it hadn't been that way in about 10 years. So hoping to get
Yeah.
that back, Andre, because it is I've heard these comedians, the Sklar brothers, who I like, and
Uh-huh.
they try to explain. They're huge sports guys. They try to explain to other kind of nerdy comedians why they're into sports, and they
Mm.
always say the community aspect of it. Like, what else are you going to get thousands of people to all agree on and get behind? And
Oh
sports can
yeah.
do that, which is
Oh
why
yeah.
sports is a cool thing, and a winning culture is a fun thing for a community.
Yeah, that's the sports brings every background together, every ethnicity, no matter what your political party is. Like it's just people are just gonna be cheering for their team. And then, like I think it was Saturday, I went out to watch some college football and I saw in the city it was just a lot of Buffalo Bills fans. And I was just amazed at how, people travel like that. Or even
Yeah,
here when we have a Cowboys game, or when I went to the Vikings game when they played the Panthers, this the whole city was just purple. And I just love seeing that. I always think that you look in the stands and they don't even care where you from, what you have, what you don't have, what you believe or don't. They're just there for one common reason. And that's why I started to understand the importance of like proteins not want to ingratiate politics, with like on a public message level, because it
yeah.
can kind of like create a sense of division that's not really needed for the moment. I think it's other ways that you can handle it. So you're right about that. Sports is the ultimate jail for everything.
All right, Andre. Well, good stuff, man. We got a big one with the Pirates on Saturday. We'll recap it with you next week. But have a good week, buddy, and we'll talk to you again soon.
But I definitely will. Hey, go Pirates. I was wearing my pirate purple today, so we're gonna be victorious. I'll talk to you soon.